Hello, my name is Priyam Jain, and now I am going to talk about irreversibility and heat generation in the computing process. It is it was devised and investigated by R.Landauer, who wrote a paper on it in 1961. Now it is argued that computing machines is inevitably involve devices which perform logical functions that do not have a single valued inverse. This logical irreversibility is associated with physical irreversibility and requires a minimum heat generation per machine cycle typical of the order of kT for each irreversible function. This dissipation serves the purpose of standardizing signals and making them independent of their exact logical history. Two simple but representative models of bistable devices are subject to a more detailed analysis of switching kinetics to yield a relationship between speed and energy dissipation, and to estimate the effects of errors induced by thermal fluctuations. So the information bearing devices degrees of freedoms of a computer interact with the thermal reservoir represented by the remaining degrees of freedom. This interaction plays two roles. First of all, it acts as a sink for the energy dissipation involved in the computation. This energy dissipation has an unavoidable minimum arising from the fact that computer performs irreversible operations. Secondly, the interaction acts as a source of noise causing errors. In particular, thermal fluctuations give a supposedly switched element a small probability of remaining in its initial state, even after the switching force has been applied for a long time. It is shown that in terms of two simple models that this source of error is dominated by one of the two other error sources: incomplete switching due to inadequate time allowed for switching, decay for stored information due to thermal fluctuations. It is of course apparent that both the thermal noise and the requirements for energy dissipation are on a scale which is entirely negligible in present-day computer components. The dissipation is calculated, however, is an absolute minimum. Actual devices which are far from minimal in size and operate at high speeds will be likely to require a much larger energy dissipation to serve the purpose of erasing the unnecessary details of the computer's past history. Thank you.